So, in this video I will show you how I went from this to this. But let's start from the beginning. How can I grab this cube? This is a Sci-fi I.H.A.S game called I.H.A.S, but I was working on it for the last 1.5 years. And a few months ago I started to think, what puzzles mechanics can I add to my game? Because just shooting it can be a little bit intensive. Like I watched some videos about game design and they're talking like in the game it will be pretty good if you have like period of relaxation, some when you're walking through the corridors and this kind of stuff. And some parts when you're shooting at enemies. Because if you shooting at enemies all the time it's became pretty overwhelming and you're like, oh okay, it's too hard. And you just quitting the game. And to prevent this, I started to create some puzzle mechanics. So the first is most basic is like physics-based interaction system. Okay, it sounds pretty fancy, but in reality it's pretty simple. So overall I had 4 attempts to do that. From the first system I took inspiration from the game called Control. And in the game you have these mechanics that you can grab some objects and throw at the enemies. First I tried to make this. Okay, I followed some tutorial, what I found. But it was harder than it seems to be. Like these objects is just clipping through the walls and yeah, it's not good. For the second system, in Unreal Engine we have this thing what called a physics handle. And this component will help to solve this problem. Kind of. Again, I have pretty much the same bug like with the previous system. And I scrapped this idea. Okay, the first system was actually physics-based spring arm component. This is a custom component and I found this post actually in forums. Like, yeah, it's working. Like, yeah, on one side it's working. It's actually not clipping from the walls, but this strange movement, it doesn't work as I need. And the fourth attempt is a final attempt. And this time I find another tutorial. And now it's working, it's completely working. Like I spent on this last few months, but of course I'm working on other stuff in the game, but somewhere about this, yeah. And it's finally working, finally. Oh yeah, it's working. It's amazing. But the thing is that this was the most basic mechanics for a puzzle game. Like, yeah. So now I need to actually make some puzzles. So the first what I did is a long time ago actually, when I started to, somewhere about 6 months ago, I started to work on a door puzzle mechanics. Like I have 2 types of doors. First with a key part, you need to type only 4 numbers and enter these doors. It's pretty simple. And the second door is a door with a key part. What you need to find in the level, just take it and you can enter. Then I make this switch, this button. Yeah, it's looking kinda not finished, it's just a placeholder. Yeah, take some inspiration from Portal. Actually, right now I'm playing a Portal 2. It's an amazing game. And another thing, I created a jump pad. Like you step on it and you jump in really high. Why I need that in my game? It's a good question, but why not? But to be honest, my game is not a puzzle game. This is an FPS shooter. And for shooter, what we need? We need a weapon. Yeah. I actually have a name for this weapon, this VPS 12. Because it's like a newest weapon prototype. And it's unstable, you can't reload this stuff, and it's overheating. Just a perfect weapon. But the thing is that in my game you can find weapon mods. These separate modules that you can install into this weapon. Like with this mod you can add a shotgun function. Yeah, it's shotgun. And the second one is adding a laser mode to the weapon. And the thing is that you can switch between them. If you're interested in this game, don't forget to wishlist this game on Steam and Epic Games Store. I will release the demo of this game at the end of the month. Don't forget to wishlist. And if you want, you can join a playtest to help me make this game better. Thank you. Actually, by playing a bunch of games for these last 2 years when I buy a new laptop, I can understand that story is really important. Story and the lore of the game. This is some like extra details that make not just good game, but a great game. And if you want to hear my story about how I started to make this game, where I got the idea for creating this game, because every game started with just one idea. Maybe not one idea, but started with ideas. And then we make them reality. And this is how it's working. So watch this video right now.